One thing that a lot of our viewers have been in touch with us about over the last 48 hours is they've learned, some of them for the first time, that it is legal for a Sikh to carry a knife, a religious knife, when it wouldn't be possible for other people on the streets of Britain to carry them. And they're saying, why is this difference? As a practising Sikh, maybe you could just explain that difference and where you think this debate goes now.
Certainly, John. Well, look, the Sikhs carry the kirpan. That is one of the 5 articles of their faith, something that they have been doing for centuries. And I'd also like to point out that the murder actually didn't occur with the kirpan. It wasn't the small ceremonial Sikh dagger. The murder was actually committed by a much larger and longer weapon. It's actually called the peshkabz, which is an Indo-Persian blade, and that was used during previous battles to actually pierce through body armour. And I think this is something that has been lost within all of this debate. But for the Sikhs, as I called out, the individuals from Reform, Restore and the far right who had been scapegoating and throwing under the bus the entire Sikh community for the actions of one individual, I said to them, look, you actually need to have a history lesson, because tens of thousands of Sikh soldiers fought bravely alongside British service personnel during both World Wars. Tens of thousands actually made the ultimate sacrifice for the freedom of this country, and they did so proudly wearing their turban and their kirpan. And that is why this kirpan is actually an integral part of the faith. But Sikhs know that this, with it, is a huge responsibility that they actually carry. They don't just carry the kirpan, they've got to make sure that they only use it for self-defense. And John, the other thing is, how many instances for well over a century that the Sikhs have now been living peacefully, working hard within Britain, how many instances are there of a kirpan actually being used to commit a violent act? And that's something that I would like, via yourself, the wider British public to be aware about, that the Sikhs pride themselves on being very integrated within the wider community and society. In fact, according to the last census, the Sikh community, carrying their articles of faith, have always got a strong work ethic, whether it's in terms of the emphasis on education, whether it's in terms of the second largest number of graduates in the country, whether it's in terms of the largest proportion owning their own house. So they want to make a positive contribution to the country, but they are very, very fearful now because of the calls to ban the kirpan. That means that they will not be able to freely and peacefully practice their faith.